Good morning, everybody. We think that all the action on climate change and the environment is happening in Copenhagen, but I think we're going to find today through the opening panel that actually there's a great deal that the Commission has been doing and all of us that have been working on projects to support the issue of the environment and the ability of citizens to use new tools and technologies to ensure that their voices are heard. And many of the 20 projects that the Commission has currently funded deal with the environment, and I'll just name a few: E-Committee, Ideal EU, WAVE, FEED, EU at Mare Nostrum, and Empower. And I don't think it's surprising because it's one of the main topics, indeed, of our era. And we've got a tremendous panel of experts and project leaders that are going to share with us the different initiatives that have been underway over the last 2 to 3 years. And we're going to start with our link to Strasbourg, where we're going to hear from Christophe Nonnenmacher, who is the press secretary to Sandrine Belier, one of the MEPs who's been particularly supportive of today's event. Christophe has a distinguished background in journalism and EU issues, but is also the co-founder of Europeus.org, which is Europe's first interactive social media blog. So, Anna, with that, shall we hand over to Strasbourg and introduce Christophe and thank him for joining us?
Hi, Julia. Do you hear me?
We can hear you. Welcome.
Okay. Thanks for the invitation. I will try to do my best to be as clear as possible about the issues. I don't know, you want me to start speaking or?
Sorry?
Do you hear me well?
We can hear you.
Do you want me to start my presentation or?
We can. It's almost like you're in the room. Trust us.
Okay, brilliant. You asked me to talk about e-democracy and maybe the way to promote it today on environmental questions as well. I'm not sure there is any proper link between e-democracy and environment, so it might be a bit more general, and I may speak more as an ex-journalist and blogger on these issues. Blogs, digital activism, digital art, link journalism, virtual universes, social networks like Facebook, Twitter, FriendsFeed, TweetPic, etc., iPhone, smartphones, serious gaming, etc. All those new tools have definitively changed the way that people do interact and communicate. This is for sure. But the question is, if an EU institution does use them, is this institution helps filling the democratic gap between the EU and its citizens? To be honest, I really doubt it. It will be like saying the ETC is closer to the citizens thanks to its EU YouTube channel. YouTube channel can be interesting, can be fun, but that is it. It will be like saying that opening a blog or Twitter account helps building an e-democracy. I'm also not sure. Both help us to share information if you do it properly. But most of the time, it is only used as a sole communication tool, and communication means not always sharing proper information that people can really use as a democratic tool. What I'm trying to say here is it is not because you will use e-tools that you will help building an e-democracy. You need much more than that. Let's have a look at what is usually done within the institutions. You build a beautiful website, sometimes with a nice flash animation and a couple of beautiful pictures. That's for the most sexy websites anyway. Then you have a welcome note saying how glad you are to welcome the citizens in this e-house. You have some links to many scientific contributions that almost nobody will read. I'm sorry to say this, but this is the case. If we are a little honest anyway. And a place where the people can give their mind, collaborate, write, and then participate. That is the first step. Then you have a webmaster working close link with the communication manager of the project, saying that X thousands of people connecting and X hundreds are participating. If you have that many people, this is already quite good, and you can say that you are quite lucky as an institution. But then the communication manager, because it is its job, communicates, saying that it has been a success for e-democracy because you had so many people participating. And it will do, because if it does not, it will mean that the e-strategy did not work, which is not possible on a communication aspect. Key strategy in communication has to be positive and never negative. No rain, just sunshine. That's where, on a communication aspect, e-democracy starts. The only thing is, when you ask anybody in the streets, let's say Mr. Smith has just no idea at all about the existence of this public consultation. The thing is that the people who really do participate are most of the time the same that in the real life, if I can use that expression. NGOs, lobbyists, and a couple of people used to go to those platforms. This is for sure a personal point of view. I guess you here will share it. But as you said it, I'm just 35. I'm working for 10 years on the EU questions on the web. I'm also a blogger and know many other political bloggers in France. And whether it is sad or not, I can tell you none of them know about the e-democratic programs of the EU, whatever the program is. And if you are lucky, or imagine they could know about them, the worst thing is that none of them will participate. Not because they are against e-democracy. Of course, they are for e-democracy. They support it. But the thing is, the way we use it in the institution is too far from the people that those same people have absolutely no envy to participate.